My name is Deirdre. Welcome to Beginner's Yoga. So just find an easy seat, sitting up on your sits bones. Find some length in your spine, just kind of pulling up through your body, reaching the crown of your head up towards the ceiling, finding some space. And we'll start just by filling that space with our breath, just noticing how your breath is tonight. And then starting to pull that breath in even deeper, filling up the belly and the chest, and exhaling completely. Continuing with those deep breaths, take a moment to scan your body. See how it's feeling tonight. Are there any places of tension or soreness? You can try bringing your breath to those spaces, exhaling the tension or the soreness out. Let's take 5 more rounds of breath this way. Deep breath, full exhale. After your 5th round of breath, let's open our eyes if they're closed. Let's just take some movement into our shoulders. So let's pull them up towards the ears, press them back and down. Let's do that 3 more times, going backwards, pushing them back. And after your 3rd time, we'll change direction. So push them back and then bring them up and forward. Just rolling through the shoulders, loosening things up. Let's take the attention into our neck. So let's drop our head to the left shoulder. Just kind of let it hang there. If you'd like to reach your right hand out on the mat, you might feel a little deeper stretch there. Bringing that breath into that next space. And then keeping the head tilted, draw the chin down to the shoulder. Taking a few more breaths into that space. And an inhale, bringing the chin up first and then the head up. And we'll take it to the other side, so the head tilts to the right. You can reach out with the left if you'd like. You can be deeper. And then it's turning that chin down towards the shoulder. And taking 3 more breaths here. And inhaling the chin up first and then the head up straight. Let's go ahead and drop the head back. Taking a few breaths here. Feeling that stretch through the front of the neck, through the jaw. Inhaling the head back up, and let's drop the chin to the chest. And take 3 deep breaths here. And inhaling the head back up. Let's go ahead and get into some movement. We're going to rotate from the waist, circling the straight spine. And then as you warm up a little bit, you can open this up a little bit, really pushing your chest forward, really arching back. Really loosening up the spine, warming up. And change direction. Let's go the other way. And coming back to center. We'll do a couple side bends and then a couple twists. So let's plant the left hand down, reach the right arm over, bending into that left elbow if you want to come down a little deeper, or walking the hand out on the mat. Making sure that right hip is still down, so pulling that hip down towards the mat, really creating space in that right side. 2 more deep breaths. And on an inhale, we'll bring it up. And let's go to the other side. Exhaling down into your side bend. Reaching over with the left arm, but pulling down through that left hip. Take 1 more deep breath. Exhale it out, and on an inhale, we'll come back up. On an inhale, let's bring our arms up overhead. And on an exhale, we'll turn to the right. Taking a nice twist. On an inhale, straighten your spine a little bit more. And on an exhale, see if you can twist a little deeper. Taking 2 more deep inhales here. And on your next inhale, coming back forward, reaching the arms up, and we'll twist down to the other side. Twisting through the hips first, and then the shoulders, and then the head follows. On an inhale, bringing more length into that spine, and on the exhale, twisting in. And on your next inhale, coming forward, arms come up and back down to your sides on the mat. So let's come into tabletop. So just roll forward on your mat, coming to our hands and knees. Wrists are under shoulders and knees are under hips. And before we do some cat-cows, let's first just do some shoulder work. So we're going to press out of our hands and just bring a little bit of an arch into the upper back. So it's not the whole back like a cat, but just spreading the shoulder blades apart. And then coming down and pushing the chest towards the mat, squeezing those shoulder blades together. So we're just doing the very upper part of the spine right now. Squeezing the shoulder blades together and then pulling them apart on the inhale. Let's do 2 more rounds. And then let's meet in center. You can take a little wiggle if you want, bring some movement into your hips. Kind of sway around, flow. Dangle your head if that feels good. And then coming back to stillness, we'll do some cat-cow. So on an inhale, our belly drops and our head and our tailbone go up. And on an exhale, pulling the stomach into the spine, the belly into the spine, and pushing, opening up the shoulder blades and the back. Inhale back to cow, still pulling that belly to spine. Exhaling up. Let's do 3 more rounds to your own breath. And we'll meet back in stillness with a straight spine. From here, we're going to bring our right arm up, reaching up towards the ceiling, and then bringing it down underneath the left shoulder, coming down to that right shoulder, sorry. So coming down to the right shoulder, getting a nice stretch in the back. That left hand can stay under your shoulder, it can reach forward, it can wrap around your back. Whatever feels good for you. Take 2 more rounds of breath here. And then planting that left hand back down under your left shoulder, gently lift back up, reaching that right arm up again, and then planting it back down. So let's do that on the left side. We'll raise the left arm up, bringing it down, weaving it under the right arm, coming down to the left shoulder. And again, find the arm position that works for you tonight. I'll take 2 more breaths here. And then bringing that right hand back under the right shoulder and gently lifting up, reaching again with the left up towards the ceiling, and then planting it back down. Okay, so we're going to go down to our bellies now, so just go ahead and lower down. You can rest your forehead on your arms, crocodile. And just take a few breaths here, really noticing how your body is supported. Really letting it sink down into the mat. Maybe take a little wiggle with the hips, just get even more grounded, and then find stillness. Lifting the head, let's bring our hands underneath our shoulders. So planted into the mat under our shoulders. We'll just take a few baby cobra to warm up some back bends. So inhaling up, exhaling back down to the mat. Inhaling up, using the strength of your back more than the arms. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. And let's do one more. And this time lifting up higher. Oh, this isn't going to work. Let's try dropping the right shoulder down towards the mat. I just wanted to do a little bit of a twist through the shoulder. So just bending that right arm, dropping the right shoulder towards the mat. I feel a nice stretch through the front of the shoulder here. Bringing it back up, let's do that to the left. And inhaling back up. Let's push back to child's pose. So knees come wide, toes come together. Tailbone sinks back to heels. And just settle into this for a few breaths. Let's walk our hands to the right while we're still in child's pose. So we're just reaching off to the right side of the mat. Opening up to that left side body. And when you're ready, let's walk it back through center and then walk off to the left side with the hands. Taking a few more breaths here. And walk the hands back to center. We'll come back up through tabletop. We're going to tuck our toes, and we're going to come up to our first down dog. So exhaling, lifting the hips up and back, dropping the heels towards the mat. Doesn't matter if they reach the mat or not, but you want that energy pushing back down towards the mat. And we'll just hang out here for a little bit. So you can wag your tail, moving it back and forth. You can stretch through one leg and then the other, just kind of pedaling through your down dog. And then come to stillness and take 2 more breaths just in your still down dog. And then slowly walk your hands back towards your feet. And let's roll it up. So we're just taking a gentle roll up through the spine. Coming up, raising the arms up overhead. Maybe taking a little back bend if you're ready. Bringing the hands down through heart center. And then the hands down to the sides in Tadasana. So from here, we'll just step right into our Warrior One. So stepping that left foot forward, turning the right foot out in the back of your mat. Hips come forward. Both hips are facing forward. Arms overhead. So really pushing back down through that back baby toe. Take one more deep breath here. Let's open it up to Warrior Two. So arms come open, hips open. We're sinking down into that left leg. Pressing down through that right baby toe. Flipping the front hand up, the palm up. We're going to bring it overhead, reversing our warrior. Take one more deep breath here. On an inhale, coming back to Warrior Two. Hinging forward, reaching with that left hand to your edge, and then bringing the elbow down to the knee. Right arm comes overhead. If you have a bind in your practice, you can take a bind here. You can do a half bind with the arm back by your hip. You can do a full bind, reaching under, clasping those fingers. Just as long as you're still able to breathe deeply. And an inhale, coming back up to warrior two. Let's do one more thing while we're here. We're going to clasp our hands behind our back. Inhaling up, and then exhaling into humble warrior. The chest comes down by the left thigh. Arms behind. They can come up off your back if that's available to you. And on an inhale, coming back up. Let's go ahead and bring our hands down on either side of the left foot, and we'll step back to down dog. And again, let's walk our hands back to our feet. And we'll roll it up again. Rolling through the spine, slowly coming up. Arms reach up overhead, little back bend. And bring the hands through heart center and down to Tadasana. Okay, we'll take that on the other side. I'm going to switch sides here. So stepping forward with the right foot, turning the left foot out into your warrior stance. Both hips facing forward. Find your balance, find the right stance for you, and then when you're ready, you can bring the arms up. Come back into a back bend if that's available. One more deep breath here. Straightening before coming into warrior two, so your stance might widen a little bit, arms come out wide. Gaze is over those right fingertips. Let's flip that right palm up and then bring it overhead into reversing our warrior. Your gaze can go up or it can go down towards that left foot. Inhaling back up to warrior two. We're going to hinge forward until you come to your edge, and you can bring that right elbow to knee, reaching that left arm up and over. And again, you have the option to bind if you have a bind. And make sure your chest just can remain open, your breath remains deep and steady in your bind. Releasing the bind if you have one. We're going to inhale back to warrior two. Bringing the hands behind, clasping behind our back. Inhaling, opening the chest. Exhaling, humbling our warrior. Squeezing those shoulder blades. And inhale, bringing it back up to warrior two. And again, let's bring the hands down to the mat on either side of the right foot and step it back to down dog. And this time we'll step our feet to our hands. Come halfway up and take a deep inhale and straighten through that spine, and exhale, forward fold. So let's hang here for a few breaths and ragdoll. So you can bring your hands to your elbows. You can maintain a slight bend in your knees if that's more comfortable. Just get comfortable and let go. of any tension, especially in the neck, and just let it dangle, sway back and forth. Let's take one more deep breath here. This is feeling really good. And then release the hands down to the mat. And with a straight spine this time, we're going to come up, standing up straight, bringing the arms overhead. And then bring your hands through heart center. And to Tadasana. So our feet are even on the mat. So take your right foot and just step it maybe a foot or a foot and a half forward of your left foot. So we're just bringing some space in between. Our hands come to hips. And with a straight spine, on an exhale, let's exhale halfway down. Inhaling here, and on your next exhale, coming all the way down. Hands can come to blocks or books or pillows or the mat, whatever is available. And again, let's just hang here for a few breaths. Notice where you're feeling this the most. Maybe direct your breath there. Now, if you'd like, you can bring your hands forward. You can stay here if you'd like, or you can bring your hands forward. We're going to do a standing leg split. So whatever you want to stay in a triangle, that's fine. Otherwise, bring your hands forward a little bit and step into that right foot. Bring the left leg up. So we're in standing leg split. Your hands can be supporting you. If you'd like to play around with your balance, you can try bringing one or both hands to your ankle. Find a spot of stillness that you can look at to help with your focus, your balance. All right, bring the hands back to the mat. Let's slowly bring that left leg down. Feet meet on the mat. Inhale halfway up. Find more length in the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling all the way up with a straight spine, arms overhead. And let's bring hands through heart center. And down to our sides. We'll take triangle on the other side. So left foot is in front. Step the right foot back, a foot, foot and a half or so. Hands come to hips. Inhaling, exhaling halfway down. Finding more length in that spine. Taking a big inhale. Exhaling all the way down. So I feel this most in the leg that is forward, but I try pushing back through that back heel as well, bringing some of the energy, equal energy into both legs. Let's take one more deep inhale here. And again, you can stay here, or you can walk your hands forward a little bit, coming into standing leg split, lifting that right leg up, bending forward, and playing around with your balance if you'd like, trying to bring your hands to ankle, finding your drishti. Planting the hands back down, and gently bring that right foot to meet the left on the mat. Inhaling halfway up, exhaling forward fold. Inhaling all the way up, reaching overhead. Little back bend. And drawing the hands through heart center. Okay, so we're going to come a long way on our mat. We're going to step our feet wide. Toes are pointing either straight ahead or more inward. We don't want them outward. So coming to a nice wide stance, hands to hips. And we're going to take a forward fold again. So on an exhale, come halfway down. Deep inhale here, finding more length. Exhaling all the way down. Taking your peace fingers to your big toes, wrapping them around your big toes. And sinking down into the stretch. Elbows open wide. It's another good place to shake your head out. Get rid of any tension. Two more deep breaths here. Releasing the toes, bringing the hands to the mat under your face. We're going to reach with our left hand to our right ankle and open up the right arm up to the ceiling, taking a nice twist, wide-legged twist. Let's take 3 deep inhales here. On your next inhale, releasing that leg and bringing the hands back to the middle. Exhaling to the other side. And twist. And on an exhale, bringing the hands back down to the middle. Lifting up halfway. Inhale, bring your hands to hips. And inhaling all the way up. Let's heel toe our feet back to the middle of our mat. Give your legs a shake if you want. And we're going to come into tree. So let's go ahead and we'll come into our right, put our weight in our right foot. So let's lift the foot up and plant the heel and then just walk it forward. Plant it down from the heel to the toes, really finding some stability, some groundedness in the mat. All right, let's take the left leg. Kind of lift the foot, swing it around a little bit. Then you can come into tree. The foot can come to the ankle or the calf, or you can bring it up to your inner thigh. Do not put it on your knee. And bring hands to heart center. You can also do this by a wall and use the wall for support. So think about bringing your energy to your midline. So the hands are pressed together. The foot is pressing into the leg is pressing back into the foot. Energy is in that midline, finding your drishti, finding stability, growing your branches if you'd like, maybe gazing up. And on an exhale, releasing that down. Go ahead and give your legs a shake. Okay, so now on the left side, so put the heel on the mat, lifting the front of your foot up, and then stepping into it, really spreading the toes, planting the toes down, and taking the right leg, swing it around, and then bring it into tree, again, ankle or calf. or all the way up. Bringing the energy to the midline. Tucking the tailbone. Growing your branches if you'd like. Gazing up, maybe. If you really want to challenge your balance, you can close your eyes. And bring it down. Release. So our feet are together, not all the way together, maybe just an inch or two between them. No, actually, bring your toes together. Changed my mind. And we're going to come down into toes post squat. So just slowly, we're bending in to our knees. We're coming up on our toes, on the balls of our feet. And we're just bringing this all the way down, coming into a little squat. So from here, let your legs, your knees come wide. Toes are still together. The feet are planted together. And we're going to walk our hands forward. Dropping the head down between the arms. Let's take 3 rounds of breath here, really nice deep breaths. And walking the hands back in. And as gracefully as you can, just coming down to a seat. Very good. Okay, so we're taking a seat on our mat. Actually, no, we're going to come to our bellies, sorry. So coming back to our bellies on the mat. We're going to take a few more back bends. So coming up onto your forearms, fingers are facing forward. Elbows are under shoulders. So this looks easy enough, but we're going to bring some energy into that. So plant your fingers into the mat and pull, like you're trying to pull the front of the mat towards your chest. So your hands are engaging, your shoulders are engaging, your chest is opening. The legs are planted actively into the mat. Take 2 more deep breaths here. And if you'd like to take this, you can stay here, or if you'd like to take it a little deeper, we're going to walk our hands out like to the top corners of the mat and push up through the hands so the arms are straight. Just taking a bit more of a bend into the back. Chest is pushing forward. One more deep breath here. And let's bring back down to the forearms. Bringing those elbows back under the shoulders. Tucking the toes. We're going to take a dolphin plank. So we're just lifting up onto our forearms. Lifting our body like a plank. Belly's engaged. Legs are engaged. One more deep breath here. And then turn that right forearm so it's parallel to the top of your mat. We're going to open up into side plank. So just rolling this open. Your elbow is still under your shoulder. You can lift your arm up into the air if you'd like. You can drop it over your head. Really pushing that hip up towards the ceiling. Deep breath. Let's release this back down to dolphin plank. Turning the left arm parallel to the top of the mat, we're going to open up to the other side. Take one more deep breath here. arm back down to dolphin plank, and gently release back down to the mat. Let's go ahead and bring our arms above our head like in dolphin or crocodile pose. Rest your forehead for a couple of breaths. So let's bend our legs so that our feet are facing up towards the ceiling. And you can bring your arms back to forearms, just up on your forearms. So this is kind of a nice back bend. If you'd like to take it deeper, come back down to your chest and reach your hands back and connect with your feet or your ankles. Take a deep inhale, and on an exhale, lifting the chest and head up. Our legs are still engaged and pressed into the mat. And gently release. Keeping those feet up though, let's just take a little windshield wiper. Okay. Trying to remember what I wanted to do. Taking our arms to a T. We're going to do one more thing on our belly. So we're going to do another front shoulder opener. So actually bring your left hand under your left shoulder. Right arm is extended in a T. And just push yourself over that right arm. So we're just opening up through the chest on the right side. So this might be enough, just a little bit. And if you need more, you can bring that leg behind you. Bring that left foot behind you. You can also bring your left arm behind your back if you want to open up even more. Head can be relaxed down on the mat. Let's take 2 more breaths here. And gently bring that left arm back forward, the left leg back forward. Just gently kind of come out of this. And we're back on our bellies. Left arm extends out in a T. And then with pushing through your right hand, open up, rolling over the left shoulder, the left arm. Bringing that breath to the shoulder. And then slowly releasing, bringing the hand forward and the leg and coming back to your belly. Stacking the arms once more, resting your forehead down. Letting everything settle into the mat. And when you're ready, we're going to roll over onto our backs. All right, we're going to take pigeon on our back. If you prefer traditional pigeon, you can go ahead and get into that position, taking the full pigeon. But from here, we're going to take our right ankle and cross it over our left knee. That right foot is flexed. This may be enough. You may feel this enough in your right hip, or you can reach and grab behind that left thigh and pull your legs towards your chest. Both feet are active, they're flexed. And once you get into position, Gonna bring your attention to your tailbone and try pulling that down towards the mat. We'll take you a little deeper into the stretch. So let's hang out here for a few breaths. Really noticing where you're feeling it, how it's feeling. Let's take 2 more deep breaths here. And then releasing the hands, but keeping the legs where they are. We're going to cross that right leg all the way over the left. So like we're sitting in a chair, like for the ladies, crossing our legs. And we're going to bring our arms to a T out at our sides. And we're going to drop our legs to the left. Just coming into a nice supine twist. Gaze can go out over the right arm. Two more deep breaths here. And an inhale, bringing the legs back up, uncrossing the legs, bringing the feet back down to the mat. We're going to cross the left leg, or bring the left ankle to the right knee. And again, reaching up, grabbing the right leg behind the thigh and the shin, pulling those legs towards your chest, flexing both feet, and then pulling that tailbone down towards the mat. Noticing how your body feels in this pose. Let's take 2 more deep breaths here. And then again, releasing the hands, crossing that left leg all the way over the right. We'll bring our arms out to a T and drop the knees to the right. Gaze goes out over the left arm. One more deep breath here. And then on an inhale, gently bringing those legs back up, uncrossing them, bringing the feet back down to the mat. Let's step our feet wide and let our knees drop together just for a couple breaths in constructive rest pose. And then walking the feet back together. We're going to bring our legs up in the air so the feet are like you're trying to stand on the ceiling. So our legs are up straight. Or you can stay here. Or if you've got shoulder stand in your practice, we can move into shoulder stand. You might move through plow, so bringing the feet up overhead. Bringing the hands near the small of your back or to your hips, and then lifting the legs back up into the air, supported on your arms. Just Spread your toes wide. And stay for a couple more breaths, or when you're ready, just lower the legs back into plow. And then rolling back down to the mat. See if you can do it one vertebrae at a time with control. This will be our ab work for the night. And then slowly lower the legs all the way down to the mat as well. And we'll take one more pose on each side, another side opener before we move into Savasana. So bringing your right foot to the right edge of your mat, and then bring the left foot to cross over it. Reaching the arms up overhead, and kind of wiggling your shoulder blades over to the right as well. So we're kind of in the shape of a banana. And you can grab your left wrist with your right hand. And once you get your body in this shape, then bring your attention to your shoulder blades and your hips. You want them all on the mat. So we're not up on our hip. We're still on our backs, but we're getting a nice side opening. So we still want that left hip and that left shoulder blade pressed down. Coming back to the breath. One more deep breath. And then gently releasing that, coming back to the center of your mat. We'll do this off to the left. So walking that left foot to the edge, right foot crosses over. Arms stretch out overhead. Working your shoulder blades over to the left side of your mat, maybe grabbing onto that right wrist with your left hand. Planting that right shoulder blade and hip back into the mat. And then find that space in the right side body. And bring your breath there. Take one more deep breath. And then gently release. Coming back to the center of your mat. And we're going to move into Savasana. So if there's any stretch or pose I did not offer tonight that you want to take, go ahead and do that now, and then find your pose for Savasana. Maybe flat on the mat, legs up the wall. Whatever is calling you tonight. And when you get there, let go of any controlled breathing. Just come back to your natural breath. Let any tension that may remain melt away. Feel your body being totally supported on the earth. Slowly start to bring movement back into your body. Wiggling your toes, wiggling your fingers. Maybe bringing bigger movements into your body. Maybe bring your knees to chest and giving yourself a gentle hug. Eventually rolling to one side. Pausing there and taking a breath. Before slowly coming up into an easy seat. So, the light in me honors the light in each and every one of you. Thank you for being here. Namaste.